To be honest, and I hope I can't say that I can speak from many experiences, but I have had a few specific experiences, and I see the research that I do in the marketplace. And I hope this will be comforting because I think it's good news. There are certain readers who are always up on the latest list of the week, or book clubs that are only reading new releases, new releases. But in my opinion, and again, my experience after years of doing research in this marketplace and talking to consumers at book fairs and many different outlets, people don't really care when the book was published. So unless it's a book that's about something, if it was about this election or if it was about something very timely to what's happening right now, then of course you need to try and time it where your launch is still within when that's a trending consideration, something many people are thinking about. But at the end of the day, if your book is universal in that 3 years from now it'll still be relevant. Certainly on the fiction side, if it's a good story, it's a good story. So it doesn't matter what year it is necessarily, unless something in your book. So, again, if it's historical fiction and it's based on something dramatic has changed since then, there are time considerations. But for the most part, even if the book is already out, just go back to, okay, if I were launching the book today, knowing that much more of what I know, knowing that I need to plan and budget and set up how I'm promoting this, start today. If the book were coming out today, what would you do? And the way I set up campaigns is I have three elements to every campaign. There's reviews, there's award contests and programs, and there's advertising. And of course, within each of those categories, there are a number of different things, and it depends on the book and the budget and a number of different factors. So there are, numbers of companies and programs and websites and services that are in the marketplace. And, I do a ton of research, and there's nothing that I do that you can't do. So do your homework, look up, what you're trying to accomplish. The reason reviews always come first for me, I have a background in book reviews, of course, so I happen to feel strongly about it. But I also believe that especially if you're a relatively or completely unknown author, you don't want to be the only person saying, this is a really good book, you should read it. Oh, and by the way, it's mine. Um, Reviews are important because they're credibility. When you can get testimonials from certainly professional sources that the industry is aware of, that's as good as it gets in terms of having librarians recognize you, having booksellers recognize you. If judges of contests see that the book has gotten reviews from certain credible sources, that certainly doesn't hurt. But reviews in general, you want activity on that Amazon page. You want your star rating. This is the world that we live in. And even if let's move away from books for a moment. Our host knows that I relate everything to food at some point. If you're looking up restaurant recommendations and you see a restaurant has a 4-star rating with 27 reviews, it's like, not so great. But if they have a 4.8 rating with over 1,000 reviews, that feels like a pretty safe bet. And so I'm just giving that comparison that the product is not so important. It's the amount of credibility gained when other people are recognizing this, paying attention to it, and rating it well. That all bodes well for you, which is why social media is very powerful, because you want to reach as many, as high in numbers as you can and get that traffic going to your pages as much as possible.